Perik Aleph, Mishnah base. Our Mishnah begins by telling us Ba'arba Prakim, at 4 different times of the year, Ha'olam Nidon, the world is judged. The Meiri brings down that our last Mishnah was talking about the 4 Rosh Hashanahs, which are dependent upon the Bezdin Shal Mata, the Bezdin down here, which we proclaim our calendar. And this Mishnah is telling us of those Rosh Hashanahs which are dependent upon the Bezdin Shal Ma'ala, upon the Bezdin up there in the heavens. There are 4 specific times of the year the Mishnah is telling us when the deeds of mankind are judged, and dependent upon those deeds is the outcome of the various things we're going to be discussing in the Mishnah. So the Mishnah tells us, Ba Pesach al HaTavur. The first one of these 4 times is on Pesach, the Yontif of Pesach, when the world is judged for Tavur, for its produce. And this produce, this grain that is being judged on Pesach, is the reason why, says the Baraisa in the Gemara, we have a Korban Omer which is brought on Pesach. The Korban Omer was barley, and it was brought in order to invoke the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the time of year when we are judged for the good. Mishnah continues by telling us, Ba'atzeres al Peiros ha'ilon. On the Yontif of Shavuos, we are judged for the fruits of the tree. And just like we have said, that on Pesach we're judged for the Tavur, we're judged for the grain, because Pesach is the time of the year when the grain begins to grow. So too Shavuos, we judge for the fruits of the tree, because that is the time when the fruits of the tree start to ripen. The Gemara tells us, brings down a brisa, that tells us that this is why we bring the Shtei Halechem on Shavuos. It was a special kolban brought on Shavuos made of wheat, and Bartanura tells us that this goes according to the Tana who learns that the chet of Odom Harishon in Gan Eden, when he ate the Eitz Hadas, that the Eitz Hadas was wheat. Since we see that the wheat is called Eitz, it's called a tree, that's why we bring the Shtei Halechem of wheat in order to invoke the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on the fruits of the tree. Mishnah tells us the next Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah Kol Boi Olam Ovrim Lefonov Kivnei Boi. On Rosh Hashanah, the 1st of Tishri, all people of the world, Kol Boi Olam, Ovrim Lefonov, they pass in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kivnei Morin, like young sheep. Each individual person passes in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and is judged for his deeds. Shene'ema, as it says on the Pasuk, Hayoytze Yachad Libam, he forms their heart together, HaMevin El Kol Ma'aseihem, and he understands all of their deeds. The Mefarshim explain that although each person passes before HaKadosh Baruch Hu individually, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees all their hearts in one glance. Hayoytze Yachad Libam, he forms their hearts together. HaMevin El Kol Ma'aseihem, and although he sees them all in one glance, he understands each individual person's ma'asim, each individual person's deeds, and judges them accordingly. The last one of these 4 parakim, of the 4 times for judgment, is Bechog, on Sukkos, Nidoinin Alamayim. We judged for water. That is why the Gemara says we have Nisach HaMayim, we have the Simchas Beis HaSha'eva, the Simcha that was done at the time of Sukkot, of the drawing of the water. That is why we bring water onto the Mizbeach, the only time that was ever done on Sukkot, again to invoke the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the bracha that we need for water. For Ad Kan, Mishnah Base.